Stop issuing orders to Fubara. Opposition lawmakers warn Amehule-led Rivers State Assembly. Hello viewers and welcome to InfoGist TV. The coalition of the opposition lawmakers has warned Rivers State lawmakers to desist from issuing orders to the governor of the state, Similayo Fubara, until their defection case is resolved. These directives comes a few days after the Supreme Court passed a judgment in favor of Amehule-led faction and ordered them to resume legislative activities. The spokesperson for the coalition, Ikenga Gochinyere, disclosed this in a statement on behalf of the group. The lawmaker also issued a warning to factions urging them to wait until their decampment case is resolved before issuing any orders. On Monday, we should recall that the political crisis in Rivers State took an interesting turn when the state governor was given a 48-hour ultimatum to sign the 2025 budget. While speaking on this, Gochinyere described the ultimatum as an act of desperation by the sacked lawmakers to seek recognition and undermine pending cases on their illegal defections. It is laughable what an institution has been turned into. Imagine individuals whose legality of decampment is still in court directing a governor to submit the budget for legislative scrutiny and approval. For emphasis, the case challenging the illegality of the pro-Wike decampment is being heard at the appeal court, and we are surprised the Supreme Court would confer legitimacy on lawmakers whose decampment is still a subject of litigation. To the pro-Wike group, the sacked 27 lawmakers stand removed, having desecrated the constitution and decamped from the peaceful PDP to APC. Gochinyere stated. Meanwhile, the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission has issued a notice for a fresh local council elections hours after the State Assembly notified Governor Similayo Fubara that it would amend the law establishing the commission. The Supreme Court on Friday sacked 23 council chairpersons in the state after voiding last year's local elections for non-compliance with the Electoral Act. Governor Fubara, in a statewide podcast on Sunday, ordered the council chairpersons to hand over to the heads of local government administration in their respective domains, with assurance that a fresh election would be conducted. Citing the Supreme Court judgment, the Speaker of the State Assembly, Martins Amehule, in a letter dated 3rd March, notified Governor Fubara that the House would soon commence the process of amending Rivers State Local Government Law 2018 and the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission Law No. 2 of 2018 so that they can be in tandem with the Electoral Act and pave way for the commencement of plans for fresh elections in the state. The House had also in a letter drawn the governor's attention to the Supreme Court judgment in 2023, which prohibits the running of local government by officials outside those elected to serve. However, hours after the House notified Mr. Fubara of the planned amendment, the Commission issued a notice of a fresh election in a move that may again set the pro-Wike lawmakers on a fresh coalition course with the governor. The Commission chairperson Adolphus Enebeli, in a letter dated 4th March, invites stakeholders, including leaders of all registered political parties, traditional rulers, religious organizations, the media, civil society groups, and electorates to a meeting on Wednesday. The highlight of the meeting will be the unveiling of the timetable and guidelines for the 2025 local government elections in the state, Mr. Enebeli, a retired judge, said. We should recall that the oil-rich River State has been enmeshed in political crisis since late 2023 after Governor Fubara fell out with his predecessor Nyesom Wike, the Federal Capital Treasury Minister. Fubara and Wike are battling each other over the control of political structures in the state, particularly at the grassroots level ahead of the 2027 general elections. Governor Fubara had recorded significant advantage at the grassroots after last year's local election, in which his loyalties emerged as chairpersons and councillors across the 23 local governments in the state. However, the Supreme Court invalidated the election and therefore set the ground for a fresh political fight between the governor and his predecessor. It is not clear how Mr. Wike-backed lawmakers would respond to the election notice from the Rivers Election Commission. We should recall that the 27 Amehule-led lawmakers on Monday gave 48 hours to the governor to represent the budget. In tandem, a group, the Rivers Restoration Movement, has advised Governor Similayo Fubara to comply with the 48 hours ultimatum to represent the 2025 appropriation bill to the Martins Amehule-led State Assembly as directed in last Friday's Supreme Court judgment to avoid being impeached. The Supreme Court had in the ruling delivered last Friday directed Fubara to represent the appropriation bill to the duly recognized Rivers Assembly led by Martins Amehule. The Apex Court also barred the Central Bank of Nigeria from releasing funds to the state government until the budget was properly resubmitted to the House. Consequently, the Rivers House of Assembly had last Monday ordered Fubara to present the state's 2025 budget to it. Speaking to journalists in Port Harcourt on Tuesday, Johnson George Will, the Director General of RRM, urged Fubara not to defy the ultimatum since failure to comply with would constitute grounds for impeachment. According to him, the ultimatum issued by the State House of Assembly was in line with the Supreme Court's ruling. He advised the 10th Rivers House of Assembly not to hesitate to initiate impeachment proceedings if Fubara failed to represent the budget within the 48 hours deadline. He alleged that the budget presented before Okojumbo factional house lacked substance in terms of proper budgetary presentations, saying that the governor must resubmit the budget. Judge Will criticized the governor's decision to proceed with a 10-day series of project inauguration across the state. He described the decision as illegal, provocative, and a clear indication that the governor has chosen to defy valid court rulings. We therefore question the source of fundings for this 10-day project inauguration, given that both the 2024 and 2025 appropriation bills have been declared illegal, Judge Will stated. He urged the Amekule-led Assembly and the Nigerian police to take decision and decisive actions to uphold democracy in Rivers State. He also called on lawmakers to ensure that all illegal appointments, non-budgetary expenditures, and government operations cease until a legitimate appropriation bill was presented before the House. Judge Will urged leaders across the state, including the clergy, politicians, opinion leaders, and traditional rulers, to speak the truth and advise the governor to uphold democratic principles. We backed former Governor Nyesom Wike in ensuring Fubara emerge as governor against all odds. Therefore, we firmly oppose all forms of betrayal and illegal actions by the state government, because the truth and justice will always prevail over illegality, he stressed. Judge Will also congratulated the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and the 27 lawmakers on their victory at the Supreme Court.